Welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with a story from Jamaica. The government has granted approval for 1,044 Jamaican ship workers aboard the Royal Caribbean cruise ship to disembark. The process will begin on Wednesday at noon in Falmouth. In making the announcement, Prime Minister Andrew Holness stated that the Ministry of Health and Wellness will create a sterile zone around the port to conduct COVID-19 testing. Holness explained that Jamaicans will disembark in groups of 200 every 48 to 72 hours and taken to the Bahia Principe Hotel in St. Anne. The time window is to allow for the test results. Holness said ship workers who test positive will go into state quarantine for 14 days, while those who test negative will be allowed to quarantine at home for the same period. Persons in home quarantine will have their location tracked and must do a video check-in multiple times a day, Holness said. Holness noted that over 9,000 repatriation applications have been received by the government. Meanwhile, he disclosed that the government is working to bring home nearly 900 additional Jamaican cruise ship workers. And for a rather tragic story from Jamaica, Norville Hall longed to join the Jamaica Defense Force, JPF. In fact, he had made a promise to his late mother, Damone Roberts, who was killed on his birthday in 2014, that he was going to make her proud by becoming a soldier. He even joined the Cadet Corps at Ascot High School, where he was a grade 10 student. Unfortunately, the 15-year-old was killed by gunmen in his yard on 2nd Street in Trenchtown last Sunday. According to police reports, at approximately 8:15 p.m., residents reportedly heard gunshots coming from the home and alerted the police. Upon their arrival, the teenager was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. No one has been taken into custody for the incident. A relative of Norville was a picture of grief when contacted on Monday. A bullet hole in a car and bloodstains on the wall of the house gave an idea of what transpired. According to the relative, Norville fell at the exact spot where his mother did when she was stabbed to death years ago. The relative said that Norville was industrious and independent and was focused on his education and part-time job. And finally, in tonight's regional news, regional telecommunications giant Digicel has filed for bankruptcy before the Bermuda courts, but it insists that its day-to-day operations will not be affected by the move. The bankruptcy filing involves the appointment of 3 provisional liquidators from KPMG, the global services company. Coming days after the company implemented a group-wide salary reduction, the move is being seen as a part of Digicel's attempt to restructure 1.6 billion US of its estimated 7 billion US debt. Earlier this month, Digicel asked all employees, including managers, to take a temporary salary reduction due to the financial losses caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Managers at the highest salary tiers will get a 20% cut, while employees at a lower salary tier will be asked to take a 5% reduction. The chairman and all non-executive directors will waive their salaries for the first quarter of the fiscal year, Digicel said in a statement on the issue. It said staff on an annual salary of $10,000 or less would not be affected by the decision. The salary cuts took effect from May 1 and will last for the next 11 months. And that was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.